Monkey D. Dragon. The storm that knows the truth in the vast world of One Piece, where pirates chase dreams across the Grand Line, and the seas are filled with mystery, power, and freedom, there exists a shadow figure whose presence ripples across the world in silence. Monkey D. Dragon, known as the most wanted man on Earth, the supreme commander of the Revolutionary Army, and the father of Monkey D. Luffy. Dragon is one of the most enigmatic and underexplored characters in the entire series. Yet, the threads of his story may very well be connected to the core of One Piece's biggest mysteries: the Void Century, the Will of D, and the downfall of the Ancient Kingdom. Let us walk into the storm. Dragon's story may begin not as a rebel, but as a soldier. Many fans have theorized that Dragon was once a Marine, and this idea is more grounded than it appears. He was raised by Garp, a Marine hero who instilled in Luffy the idea of strength and justice. It would be only natural for Dragon to have followed in those footsteps initially. His bearing, discipline, and knowledge of the world all hint at someone trained within the structured military order of the world government. But if he did start as a Marine, something must have changed, something so devastating, so morally shattering, that it pushed him to renounce the very institution his father dedicated his life to. Perhaps it happened on a mission to O'Hara. Perhaps it was through classified archives, or a meeting with an archaeologist who dared to uncover the past. Maybe Dragon encountered a poneglyph, or perhaps he simply saw too much the cruelty of the celestial dragons, the silence of justice, the rewriting of history. One way or another, Dragon realized a horrifying truth. The world government was not protecting peace. It was protecting a lie. A lie that buried an entire civilization. A lie that controls the seas through fear and censorship. This revelation turned a loyal soldier into a revolutionary, and so Dragon disappeared from the system. Sometime after the destruction of O'Hara, the Revolutionary Army was born. Its ideology was simple: overthrow tyrants, free the oppressed, and unite the world in truth. But behind this vision lies something deeper. Dragon doesn't just want to dismantle the world government, he wants to reveal the truth. He may already know it, because if Dragon was exposed to the secrets of the Void Century, then he is now fighting a war not just for freedom, but for remembrance. This brings us to his powers, an aspect of Dragon shrouded in mystery. Wherever he appears, the weather shifts. Wind swirls, storms rise, and lightning strikes. The famous scene in Logtown where Luffy is saved from death by a lightning bolt as Dragon stands nearby is no coincidence. It's the earliest clue to his abilities. Most fans agree. Monkey D. Dragon likely possesses a powerful devil fruit, but not just any fruit. A mythical zoan, perhaps the Windwine fruit or the Storm God fruit, based on Fujin of Japanese mythology. This would make Dragon a literal god of wind and weather. His abilities wouldn't just explain the environmental anomalies that surround him, they would also symbolize his role in the story. Wind is freedom, storm is revolution. He is the storm that topples empires. If Luffy's fire burns with passion and will, Dragon's storm rages with truth and change. And what's more, his control over the elements may not be purely devil fruit related. Some theories suggest Dragon has mastered a unique form of conqueror's haki that influences the world around him, an unseen force that sways nature itself. Let's push this further. What if Dragon is not just a powerful man, but a chosen figure, one destined by the will of the world to bring about the fall of an age? His name bears the D, the initial that connects him to Luffy, Roger, Teach, and others. We know from Corazonen law that the will of D represents the natural enemies of the gods. If Imu and the celestial dragons are the self-proclaimed gods of the world, then Dragon is quite literally their anti-god, the one who calls the storm against their throne. But here's where things take a dark turn. What if Imu knows Dragon's true origin? What if Dragon isn't just a man opposing the system? What if he is connected by blood to the Ancient Kingdom? Think about it. He's the son of Garp, a man respected even by the celestial dragons, yet also rejected their authority. What if Garp's ancestors were part of the Ancient Kingdom, survivors who went into hiding after the fall? What if Dragon carries that legacy in his blood, and that's why he alone has been able to unify armies, nations, and leaders under one banner? He may be the last heir of the very kingdom the world government tried to erase. Now imagine the final war. The pirates will head for Laugh Tale. The Navy will fracture. But the war that matters will be Dragon versus EMU, the Revolutionary Army storming Meryji, Kuma Ivankov, Sabo, and countless soldiers tearing down the throne room, while Dragon himself confronts the shadow on the empty throne. The world government has always feared a man like Dragon, not just because of his strength, but because he can undo everything they've built. He doesn't want to become a king. He wants to destroy the concept of kings. But there is another layer, Luffy. Dragon is not the main character of this story, his son is. And this opens up a heartbreaking possibility. Dragon may not survive the final war. Like Odin, like Ace, like so many before him, Dragon may be a bridge, a father who sacrifices everything so that his son can walk freely. If Luffy is Joy Boy reborn, then Dragon is the one who awakened the world for his arrival. And perhaps, deep down, Dragon knew this. Perhaps his mission was never to become the Pirate King, or even a hero, but simply to buy time for the one who would become both. In this way, Dragon becomes one of the most tragic yet vital figures in the story. He's the ultimate revolutionary, a man who saw the lie of the world and chose to fight it, a father who couldn't raise his son because he had to save his future, a warrior who turned his back on the system he once served because the truth was too heavy to ignore. The next time you see Dragon standing quietly beneath a dark sky, remember, the storm isn't coming. He is the storm.